Good morning. We have a little variety for this morning. Good deal. And it's all we're going to be all over the board this morning. We'll do weather, we'll do birthdays. We'll show you people don't work like us. A lot of people don't around the world. And then we'll use a few filler words. And how has your golf game been lately? Whew, there's a lot going on with the golf. And let's look back at the humble artichoke.
Mm.
Do you remember when that was in the news so much, artichokes? Okay.
No.
You were pretty young. And today is this is December 28th, 2024.
I think it's my
Birthdays.
mom and dad's wedding anniversary.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's cool. Birthdays and weather. The sun came up at 8:05, goes down at 4:54. Just in case you keep track of that kind of stuff. Well, that's good. Yeah, I just don't want the wind to blow everything away right away, anyhow.
There's no wind right now, I guess.
Oh, talk about wind. Let's talk about the weather.
Okay.
For December 28th, in the northeast part of the United States, cold and partly cloudy, with temps in the 20s and 30, as much as 35. Light snow in parts of New England. In the southeast, sunny and mild, temps 45 to 65. Florida reaching up to 75. In Midwest, chilly with scattered snow showers. Temps will be kind of variable from 10 degrees in the northern areas to 40 degrees in the southern parts. In the southwest, dry and sunny. Daytime temps very comfortable, ranging from 50 to 50, 50 to 70. Rain along the coast, especially in the northern California and Oregon regions. Inland areas and the Rockies will see snow and temps from 30 to 50 degrees above zero. In Canada, rainy on the coast and snow in the interior. Temps from 30s to 45. In the prairies, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, very cold with heavy snow expected. Temps from 10 below to 15 above. Oh, Canada. And then Ontario and Quebec, we're taking in the whole world. Cold with light snow, temps in that 10 to 25 degree range. Atlantic Canada, cold and a mix of snow and rain. Temperatures from 20 to 35. That's still pretty warm though. In Australia, hot and humid with scattered thunderstorms. Temps generally between 75 and 95. In southern Australia, warmer temps ranging from 65 to 85, with sunny to partly cloudy skies. Western Australia, hot and dry, especially in the interior. Coastal areas will see temps from 70 to 90 degrees above zero. Okay, so that's what's going on with that kind of weather. Want to do birthdays?
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Nicholas Stern and Jeff Stark, Donna Wiersma, and Julie Pickering Roll, Brianna Davis, and Jamie Beebe.
Happy birthday, you guys.
That's it. That kind of stuff. Saturday, December 28th, day 380 of Face the Sun.
On
Oh, yeah.
on Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah. I lost my other sheet already. Well, here it is.
Morning,
It's day 31 of YouTube.
West Turkey Senior and
West.
Block.
Heading home, rain in Houston ammo. Rain in Houston area.
There's rain in that Houston ammo.
Yeah, there's rain in that Houston ammo.
Alamo.
Me behave? Seriously?
Seriously?
As a child, I saw Tarzan almost naked. Cinderella arrived home after midnight. Pinocchio told lies. Aladdin was a thief. Batman drove over 200 miles an hour. Even Snow White lived in a house with 7 men. Popeye smoked a pipe and had tattoos. Pac-Man ran around like with digital music, eating what eating pills that appeared to enhance his performance. And Shaggy and Scooby were mystery-solving hippies that always had the munchies. So the fault's not ours. If you had a childhood like that, well, you probably came out all right. How was your childhood?
Good.
Europeans they tend to work fewer hours than anyone else in the world. Wonder how that got started. And that leads to a stronger sense of life satisfaction. But how do things compare in the US, where long hours are just the normal? To highlight the differences between the US and UK, Kick Resume surveyed 1,228 employees from both countries on their feelings about approaches to work. 40% of Americans reported working between 41 to 50 hours a week, compared to just 26 Europeans, 26% of the Europeans. Additionally, 8% of U.S. workers say they work 51 or more hours every week. Almost half of the American employees never take more than 10 days vacation, while 76% of the workers in Europe take at least 16 days off work. In fact, 30% of the Europeans enjoyed more than 25 days of holiday. More than 30% of the U.S. respondents said they often feel guilty about taking time off work. 18% of the Europeans, on the other hand, said the same thing. In Europe, 51% of those surveyed are either happy or very happy with their work life. And the balance between the two, 34% of the U.S. respondents shared that view. According to the survey, 19% of Americans feel pressure to avoid taking sick days, even when they are sick.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Sick days. Pretty hard to get to keep you home from work, though. You just think, I'll feel better in a minute. Or I have in the past thought, oh, I must be faking it. I am not sick.
Hmm.
Hmm. Oh, filler words. You just used one of them. Hmm.
From I say to like
It's a travel through filler words. A
a
travel.
time travel through filler words.
Today, we're embarking on a playful journey through time across continents to explore those little words and phrases that fill our conversations, often slipping out without notice. We're talking about filler words, from historical utterances in Victorian drawing rooms to the casual chats across America and beyond. Historical perspective, let's take a look at that. In the 18th and 19th centuries, English speakers often said, like, I say, and indeed, to draw attention to or affirm a statement. I say,
Boy Desh.
indeed, Boyd Tesh, reflecting the formal communication style of the time. Moving into the 20th century, you know, and actually gained popularity, mirroring society's shifts toward more casual speech. In India, na is basically nah and basically and actually are filler words that punctuate conversations with rhythm and emphasis. Nah, nah. In Canada, eh? You know, and right. They're iconic for the Canadian speech pattern. Affirmations or agreement, they'll use them either way. In Ireland, sure look it, grand, and like. Those expressions add a touch of Irish lilt to everyday exchanges. Sure look it.
Hmm.
And then interactive segment.
Why not bring this topic? Why not? Why not, Jim? Should we ask the kids watching? Are there filler words that you grew up with in your family?
Uh, uh,
Going to be almost 50 today. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm looking.
yeah.
It feels pretty nice out here too.
And then filler words are more than just gaps in speech. They're windows into our worldviews, our regional identities, and social interactions, whether it's the historical indeed or the modern like. These words help to paint a picture of who we are and how we relate to one another. So next time you catch yourself saying or ah, remember you're part of a rich global tapestry or catastrophe of human communications.
Morning, Mary Erickson.
And then the different part of the United States have different filler words.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the Northeast, I thought we were going to do the weather again here.
Boston and New York.
You know? And often they'll say, like, and I mean, and literally, man alive, people that use that. We worked for a guy, he was from Wisconsin, and he literally said literally all the time.
We worked for somebody else that always said, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And we know other people that almost everything is things and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
What does Boyd say? 46. Oh, 46 feels like 39 in
oh,
southeast Wisconsin
yeah.
and cloudy.
In Texas and Georgia and all around the South, it's y'all and fixin' to. I was just fixin' to. And also, I reckon, words that carry a southern touch of charm and hospitality. In the Midwest, South Dakota, Minnesota, North Dakota, you know,
Yeah.
things and stuff,
Yeah.
whatnot. Oh, I've got to bring this and whatnot. And long story short, boy, I hear that phrase a lot. Common and friendly, straightforward Midwestern dialogue.
Yeah.
Long story short.
Yeah.
And then it's never short.
And then it continues.
And then it
And
continues.
then there's the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Or more to the story.
Out on the West Coast, one thing they say is, right?
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 Totally, for sure.
Yes, totally for sure, right? Reflective of the laid back, affirming speech patterns found along the sunny coast. Ah, and in the United Kingdom, in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they say, you know,
Yeah.
and right, and sort of, blending tradition with modern colloquialism. In Australia, it's mate. Hey, mate, and no worries, mate.
Mm.
And Yana. Yana. Yana.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah, no, yeah. Phrases that are as distinct as the landscapes. So
Hi, Mary Jane Foster.
I like there's no wind out here.
I love it. Yeah.
Haven't had to comb my hair since we sat down.
Yay.
Yeah.
No, I know it's been such a problem for you.
Out here in the wind, yeah. And the snow is just about all gone. And the mud is well, it's frozen right now, so
It's icy on top of the mud.
it is. It's icy on top of the deck.
Yeah.
Everything has a little glaze of ice on it. This table, is it still slippery? It was really went
Yeah,
slippery.
this thing we got
Yeah, it's like the camera is on a dolly. You can move it wherever you want.
It's on a slick ice on the table.
Mm-hmm. Well, Christmas Day is the most wonderful time of the year for many. Scotty Scheffler will remember his 2024 festivities for a different reason. To cap off a roller coaster year for the men's golf world number one, Schiffer Schiffer he suffered an injury while preparing his Christmas dinner, and now he's going to miss part of the PGA's tour in 2025.
Hmm.
On Christmas Day, while preparing dinner, Scotty sustained a puncture wound to the palm of his right hand from a broken glass.
Gee.
Scheffler's manager, Blake Smith, said via the PGA Tour on Friday, small glass fragments surgery, small glass fragments remained in the palm, which required surgery. Smith added that the golfer has been told he should be back to 100% in 3 or 4 weeks. Whoa.
Hmm.
The Sentry Tournament, the PGA Tournament season opener in Hawaii. The news is just the latest in a hectic calendar year for the golfer, on and off the golf course. On the links, Scheffler has been on a streak most golfers can only dream on. In April, he won the Masters before going on to win gold at this year's Olympic Games in Paris. In total, Scheffler won 7 events on the PGA Tour in 2024, including the Tour Championship. And as soon as his hand heals up, he'll be back. How we doing on time? We're doing good.
The Jerusalem artichoke scam in South Dakota? I didn't know there was one in South Dakota.
It was big.
Hmm.
It was crazy. And I remember I was palling around a lot with my dad and the cows in those days. And he never said 2 words about it, but he didn't have to. He was just, the Jerusalem artichoke scam was part of a larger scheme that unfolded in the early 1980s, primarily orchestrated by a company called American Energy Farming Systems. It was a bizarre $25 million scam that exploited farmers, desperate farmers, and greedy investors during a time of economic crisis in American agriculture. The company was co-founded in 1981 by Fred Hendrickson and James Dwyer Erickson.
Connie Lake.
The driving force behind the scheme promoted Jerusalem artichoke as a miracle crop that would solve America's energy crisis, save the family farm, provide a source of ethanol production, and offer high profit potential for farmers. The company offered farmers 3-year contracts, charging $12,000 for seed to plant 10 acres, with promises of profits up to $30,000 to $40,000 an acre.
Wow.
God.
Kim Murphy Larson.
And then at AEFS targeted vulnerable farmers who were already struggling financially due to the ongoing farm crisis. The company used Scheffler a lot of different tactics, like religious appeal, presenting the Jerusalem artichoke as a providential plant, and biblical plant of promise. They slipped a little patriotism in there too, with helping with America's energy independence. And then they offered unrealistic profit projections, promising returns far exceeding traditional crops. And diversification. They said, this is it. It uses it's they promoted using it in alcohol, fuel, sucrose, insulin, livestock feed, and human food.
Wes Torkey says he remembers that here in Minnesota too.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, it gets a little sticky here, Wes. The Jerusalem artichoke left many farmers in financial ruin, having invested their very last resources in a crop with no real market. The incident became one of the most outlandish major scams to affect American agriculture in the past century. In March of '82, South Dakota issued a cease and desist order stopping that company from making further sales or offers of Jerusalem artichoke seeds.
Hmm.
The scandal left a lasting mark on South Dakota's community, the ag community. It became known as one of the most outlandish major scams in a century of American agriculture. In essence, the Jerusalem artichoke scam exacerbated the already dire situation for South Dakota farmers, pushing some into financial ruin and leaving a legacy of distrust in agricultural innovations. Even non farmers, such as machinery dealers, invested in the scheme as speculators, spreading the economic impact beyond agriculture. The scam became one known as one of the century's most potential scams, affecting just about everybody in South Dakota and South Dakota's reputation in agriculture.
Hmm.
In essence, the Jerusalem artichoke scam not only caused immediate financial harm, but also inflicted long lasting economic and social damage on South Dakota's rural communities, exploiting their vulnerabilities during an already challenging period in agriculture's history in South Dakota. God darn it. That's kind of a sad story. Like, how much were they? I mean, so it was crazy the money they promised them. And when you're already losing the farm, which a lot of people were,
In the
they,
80s, I didn't live here.
yeah,
And it's, when I just haven't been much of a news person my whole life. So,
yeah, yeah. Well, here's a little news for you.
okay.
A little news for you. In the
Morning.
U.S.,
So here we got, morning,
oh,
Ricky Regals and my sister Pam Nigmuchner.
hi, Pam. Hi, Bricky. In the U.S., nearly 1 million people get a DUI citation every year.
Hmm.
Not that same million people.
Sure.
There's a million people who just get one every year. No, that's not what that means. But according to a recent study, drivers of some car models are caught under the influence more than others. And we could sit here, I could give you hints all day, and you would never guess which car gets pulled over the most for DUI. It is crazy. It's the last car you would think,
Hmm.
and it's not a Honda Civic. Some car models are caught more than others. Insurify used its database of almost 100 million car insurers to find out which car models had the highest percentage of drivers with a DUI on their driver's record. Man, that sun is bright.
It is kind of happy it's coming up and everything. I'm trying to get my eyes over there, but it's hard.
The most DUI prone Americans are behind the wheels of Buick Electras. That doesn't seem to make any sense.
Um, what's the name of the car?
The Buick Investa,
In Vista?
I guess, yeah.
Because I don't know what you said the first time.
Well, it's an offshoot of the Electras.
I can't see it on what you did. You read something totally different the first time. Otherwise, you just pronounced it different. So I still don't know what it is.
It's a Buick. Great big floaty car when you go down the road.
Hmm.
Comfortable they are. That Buick has 72.1 DUIs for every 1,000 drivers. And then in number two, another Buick, the Buick Encore GX,
Gee.
and the Chevrolet Bolt EV. Those drivers follow right in there with 58.7 and 40.6 drunk driving citations per thousand. That's a lot.
Hmm.
8 of the 10 worst cars for DUIs are made by U.S. companies, but the priciest model on the list is the British made Jaguar XF, whose 2024 model has a starting price of $51,075.
Gee.
I gotta get over now. There you go.
Let's see, now you're off the screen.
Well, it's got to be that way.
Hmm.
When you're sitting in the sun, you can't read a thing.
Yeah.
I'll just sit here and tan for a while.
Okay.
Can you read that from over there?
No, you got everything wrong for me.
Here, I'll straighten that for you. That make it better?
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average U.S. worker has been at their job for just under 4 years. That's down 15% from 2014, and the lowest country's median job tenure has been since 2002. Additionally, the team of USA Facts found that as of January 2024, most Americans have either been in the same job for less than a year, 22.2%, or for more than 10 years at 26.2%. There are some industries whose workers tend to stay significantly longer than others. The public sector tops the list, with the average job tenure for government employees standing at 6.2 years, followed by, what's that say, mining and gas at 5.7 years, and
Yeah.
manufacturing at 4.9 years.
Mining and gas industries. Huh. I'm going to have to get a piece of plywood up here. I can't get out of the sun.
And we're supposed to be in the sun, so, you know.
We're definitely in the sun now.
The EB-5 scam in South Dakota was a complex fraud scheme involving the state's management of the federal EB-5 visa program, which allows foreign investors to obtain U.S. residency in exchange for investing at least $500,000 in approved projects. The scandal unfolded in the early 2010s and had significant repercussions for the state. Mismanagement and corruption. The program was initially run by state employee, was that Jope or Yope
No, it's Joop. Yep.
Bolin?
Or is it Joop? Joop?
That's the name of her perfume, too.
It
I
is.
never knew how to pronounce that.
Oh,
Who later privatized its management through his company SDRC Inc. This privatization led to a lack of oversight and accountability. Northern Beef Packers Project.
that's another one. That's another big investment we missed out on. That one didn't go too well either.
We didn't miss out on it then.
No.
This was the largest and most notorious EB-5 project in South Dakota. It received over 100 million from Chinese and Korean investors, but ultimately filed for bankruptcy in July of 2013. Good grief.
Okay, Christmas.
1.7 million inexplicably transferred to a Cyprus holding company owning Russian railways.
That was a mess. And it just kept unfolding for a long time.
5.1 million used to purchase a Hong Kong-based lender, 5 million unaccounted for. Program termination in September of 2015, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services notified South Dakota of its intent to terminate the state's participation in the EB-5 program due to mismanagement and failure to promote economic growth.
God, that was a mess.
Hmm.
And then, so that's up in Aberdeen, and it's a big beef packing plant they were building. And the concrete they poured was as big as our front yard here, easy.
Hmm.
So in that concrete, they had bolts in there in the cement because they got to go in before it gets hard. And that was to bolt all the girders to. Somebody, somehow, they said a person who was clearing snow up there went straight across that concrete pad and cut all those bolts off with a front end loader. I that was kind of crazy because that really set that back.
Hmm.
Now you got to go drill all those out because it didn't cut them off nice and smooth, and then you got to put them back in. And I think it's up and running now. I don't know. So, well, that was fun. Tomorrow I'm going to bring, I don't know what I'm going to bring, a piece of cardboard out here to sit behind.
So I'll see you tonight at sunset, you guys. We got our eyes full of photons, and
Man, did we ever?
I need to go back to bed. I am just,
Thanks for being there, you guys.
yeah. Bye bye.
We'll get out of the sun tomorrow.
Oh, Wes says, time for the rifleman.
Oh,
Yeah, see you at sunset.
yeah, good man. Thank you, Wes.